the main event, 15 rounds for the middleweight championship of the world. The principals from New York City, wearing white trunks, weighing 157.5 pounds, Sugar Ray Robinson.
All right, I have my trusty ring record book here so I can give you the proper dates. Now, Joe Louis was maybe the greatest heavyweight, certainly one of the greatest American heroes. But like every fighter, he got old.
You all do.
I know, but you don't have to fight. He had to fight. So he fought in, let's see what year it was. I want to give you the exact year. The last fight of his career, 1951, he fought in Madison Square Garden against an up-and-coming fighter who was undefeated named Rocky Marciano. So two of the greatest fighters of all time, one on the way up, one on the way out. Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano fought. Rocky Marciano's hero was Joe Louis, so it was very hard for him to fight Joe Louis. But he had to do what he had to do. Joe Louis was a big name, there was a lot of money to be made, etc. So we're going to take a look at that fight. I had never been in a nursing home before, but my mom got sick February 2004. And actually, the morning that she died, I was en route to the hospital to take her here, to Cabrini Nursing Home, which is where she was going to come. And when she died, and I was all ready to come here with her, I said, well, maybe there's some message there, I don't know, so I'm going to do some volunteer work. So I came here once every 2-3 weeks, met with some of the patients, and what I found out was once they found what I did for a living, it kind of spurred old memories for them, and they asked me about Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis, and even fighters further back than there, because the average person here is probably in their mid-80s. And it clicked, why not show them these fighters that they haven't seen? Because Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson don't really mean anything to these people, but Joe Louis and the fighters they remember from their day, which in most cases is 50, 60 years ago, does mean a lot to them. Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis.
Who won?
You're going to watch and see. I'm not giving away anything. I came up with the idea, spoke to the volunteer people. Why not have fight day here?
Meanwhile, at Greenwood Lake, on the border between New York State and northern New Jersey, Rocky Marciano was completing his training under the astute supervision of trainer Charlie Goldman. And for the third time in the round, Marciano forces Louis to the ropes. He fires from the body and gets in a left uppercut. Louis tries to punch his way free, but at the end of round one, it's a good Marciano round. Rocky won the first round. He's been possibly the aggressor here in round two.
And once a month ever since, I've been bringing tapes and showing them, I'd say 80% old fights. Once in a while, I throw in a Gaddy fight or something really exciting from today. And we have a steady crowd. The same people have been coming. They love it. We get a lot of women, and they get a little bite to eat. We have a great day. I really look forward to it, and I hope they do too.
Oh, man, I can't tell you how much I do enjoy it. I enjoy every bit of it. Yeah. Yeah, I consider this as a ringside seat.
She was awake for the knockout there. She had snoozed a little in some of the early rounds.
That's more for men than women. But being that rather than sit around do nothing, we get refreshments, I watch the fights, and let the best guy win. Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, and Muhammad Ali, who had parking, all that stuff. They really do a wonderful job.
Let me tell you, I only have one rule here, only one rule. The fighting is on the screen. No fighting in the room, right?
Turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights. That's what they do in boxing.
Well, who are you betting for?
I know who won, so I can't bet.
Oh, you know who won?
I know who won. These are 50 years old, these fights. People in a nursing home live very stagnant lives. Every day is the same. They don't go out much. So to be able to bring them something a little different, although there are a lot of activities here in Cabrini, it's a fine nursing home, but to bring them something different and to bring them something that connects them to a time in their life that they remember so well is very gratifying and a lot of fun. And I think that's kind of unique. It's a little bit of a unique story here. I've had instances where some of the patients here have said, I was at that fight, which is kind of exciting.
So what was it like to see that fight, remembering that you were there? Was it...
It was exciting because I remember the single punch. I was seeing this guy fly up in the air. He was there backwards. He was out. It was exciting.
So that was Rocky Marciano knocking out Joe Louis. That was the last fight of Joe Louis's career. And Rocky Marciano, a couple of years later, went on to win the heavyweight championship. So this was a big moment for him. And Rocky Marciano idolized Joe Louis so much that he cried in his dressing room after he knocked him out. He felt terrible having to beat up his idol, but that's boxing. Thank you all for coming, as always.
Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
Let's give a round of applause for Steve for joining us today.
We'll be back next month, and we'll bring you some more fights.